So Bernie, a lot of people might not be fans of Bernie. I know obviously there's a lot of people in my chat that are like Trump supporters or right wing. I feel like if he was president in 2016, we'd be in a better place now. It's impossible to know if that's true. Maybe I'm wrong, but you know, at least this guy, this guy actually campaigned and fought for civil rights back in the 60s. It's documented. There's pictures of him. So this guy's the real deal. You can disagree with him, and I disagree with him on some things, but he's the real deal.
I was at the Trump inauguration yesterday, and needless to say, I disagree with much of what he had to say.
That's true.
But what really struck me, however, is not what he said, which was not surprising given his rhetoric, but what he didn't say. What he didn't say. The simple truth is that Donald Trump gave a major speech, the first speech of his second presidency, and ignored virtually every important issue facing the working families of this country.
See, what Bernie's talking about right here is actually incredibly true. And I think it's one of the big issues is that things like illegal immigration and DEI are damaging to working people in like an abstract way. But like, yeah, like the price of eggs, housing prices, like these things, the direct effects, I feel like oftentimes people get too distracted by identity politics. And I feel like identity politics, this is my conspiracy opinion, is that I think that after the popularity of Occupy Wall Street in like 2011 and 2012, there was a conscious effort by what I believe to be like media elites to, and this is total conspiracy, by the way, total conspiracy. There was a conscious effort by media elites to try and shift the narrative away from the rich against the poor, which is what was beginning to happen, over to identity politics. And I think that it was massively successful. Completely successful in an absolute sense. Yeah, there's not a race war, there's a class war. And poor people are losing massively.
How crazy is that? Our healthcare system is broken, is dysfunctional, and it's wildly expensive.
True.
Not one word from Trump about how he is going to address the healthcare crisis. We pay by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs.
Trump got rid of the insulin cap as well, which capped insulin at $35 a bottle.
Sometimes 10 times more than the people in other countries. And 1 out of 4 Americans are unable to afford the prescriptions that their doctors...
No, he didn't. That's not true. Only for Medicare. Spirit of healthcare, 35 mentally. Medicare's weren't affected by Trump's executive actions. Okay, so this isn't true. Yeah, okay. That's good to know. All right, yeah, it's not true. Thank you, guys. I thought it was true. I didn't see the community note. And so, yes. That's good. Actually pushing false information. Well, that's why I have you guys, right? And don't, yeah, I mean, if that's it, yeah, W. Trump, exactly. Yeah, because I read this like 5 times. I never saw that information.
Prescribed. Not one word in his speech on the high cost of prescription drugs. We have 800,000 Americans who are homeless and millions and millions of people spending 50 or 60% of their limited income on housing. We have a major housing crisis in America. Everybody knows it. And Trump, in his inaugural address, did not devote one word to it.
In Trump's defense, he did sign an executive order to have a couple of different departments look at the cost of living issues for average people. But I feel like it was such an abstract order that I don't think anything concrete is going to come out of it.
Today in America, we have more income and wealth inequality than we have ever had. The wealthiest 3 people in America now own more wealth than the bottom half of our society.
Bro, who's old enough to remember when Bernie Sanders was only about the 99%? The power scaling in this is crazy. Oh my God. Yeah, what the fuck?
But Trump had nothing to say, not one word, about the growing gap between the very rich and everybody else. And maybe, just maybe, that's because he had those three people, the three wealthiest people in our country, sitting right behind him at his inauguration.
Yep.
And I should add that those three people, if you can believe it, and this really is unbelievable, saw their wealth increase by more than $233 billion since the November elections. How's that? $233 billion increase in wealth for the three wealthiest people.
That's crazy.